Yo guys, what's up? It's WarSpirit here today with Torbjörn's Stage 1 Overwatch video. Let's do a Stage 1 recap quickly at the start of this video. Stage 1 videos are me bringing you every hero in Overwatch at a pretty decent skill level with the aims of bringing you further videos, Stage 2, Stage 3 videos, where I have hopefully by that point mastered these characters. So I'm bringing you some pretty decent Torbjörn gameplay here for the first time, which is both really surprising and pretty nice. It was only a month ago that I was one of those guys who despised Torbjörn. I just couldn't fathom why Torbjörn, a character like Torbjörn, was in a game like Overwatch. And I did a little bit of a commentary about this on YouTube and received some comments from you guys, which allowed me to sort of want to actually explore Torbjörn's gameplay a little further, and so I did. And the past month I've ended up actually playing quite a lot of Torbjörn, and I'm not gonna lie, I've been enjoying it, guys. I'm the guy that's like, why is there a freaking auto aim turret in a first person shooter? This stupid little dwarf called Torbjörn running around letting his AI turret kill things. Yeah, Torbjörn is in like my top 5 most played heroes right now in ranked mode in Overwatch. So why this sudden change? Well, I realized that actually Torbjörn himself as a character is pretty interesting and pretty fun to use. The way I play Torbjörn is with my turret not being my primary focus. My turret is my backup plan. It's there as a distraction for the enemy team while I play sort of on the opposite side of choke points to my turret, so that I can crossfire with my turret. If enemies turn around to try and kill my turret, I shoot them in the back. And shooting them in the back with Torbjörn is going to be dealing a lot of damage, because Torbjörn actually has very good damage output on his primary weapon. The first part of Torbjörn's weapon is his left click ability. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of it because coming from preferring hit scan sort of shooter gameplay, it is one of those weapons in Overwatch where there is bullet travel time. There is also bullet drop, so it falls as you shoot, so you have to aim pretty high with Torbjörn if you want to aim for those headshots, especially at longer ranges. But it is very satisfying to see that red hit marker pop up when you do land one of those long range left click headshots with Torbjörn. And Torbjörn's left click is dealing something like 70 damage as well per shot, and there's no damage drop off, so at max range it's still dealing 70 damage. That's 140 damage headshots. But the most fun part about Torbjörn's kit, which is something I hadn't really used before a month ago, which was why I was like, what is there really to Torbjörn's gameplay? And it's his right click. His right click costs 3 charges of his weapon, and it fires a short range blast, massive spread, basically the exact same as a Reaper's shotgun, and it just deals massive damage, and it is just so much fun to use because no one expects it coming from this little dwarf. It is his secret weapon for sure, and you just walk up to people, right click them. I think it's actually like 150 damage possibly, so it's one-shotting tracers with a right click at point blank range. Just requires quite a decent bit of aiming to pull it off, because point blank obviously makes things pretty hard to aim and it spreads very quickly. But if you can get that crosshair smack bang in the middle of a target, then you're just dealing massive damage, and it is great for taking out Reinhardts, Roadhogs, and all sorts of things. And it benefits from headshot damage as well, so it's just absolutely crazy damage. And I think that's the main part of where Torbjörn's gameplay becomes really fun, is mastering this sort of little bit of flanking dwarf with the backup turret on the back lines being that distraction for the enemies. They're focusing on your turret, and then you're just walking around smacking them in the back with everything else that you've got. So in this gameplay here, I'm actually showing off some pretty decent Hanamura Torbjörn gameplay, and it's on defense, which is where you're going to be using Torbjörn in 90% of the games, is on defense. You can play the attack Torbjörn. I've got some decent attack Torbjörn gameplay which I might share with you at some point, but on this map in particular, when I'm playing defense, Torbjörn's at the top of my list for locking in that defensive spot. What will definitely secure me locking in Torbjörn in this map is if someone on my team picks a Widowmaker, or if someone on my team picks a Symmetra. Even better if both of those heroes are also locked in, because what that does is it just creates additional distractions for the enemy. Torbjörn, I think, pairs so well with Widowmaker because it splits the focus of the enemy team. It's like, do we kill the sniper first going through this choke point, or do we kill the Torbjörn's turret first going through the choke point? And what they're not thinking about is, do we kill the dwarf as we go through this choke point, which is probably what they should be thinking about, is maybe sniper first and then dwarf and then turret, because otherwise it just gives you so much free reign on the enemy team as they pass through the choke point to just blast them in the back with your shotgun mode on your little Torbjörn or rivet gun. So there definitely is room there for hero synergy with Torbjörn. One other really fun part of Torbjörn's gameplay is his armor pack. So every time an ally dies, your turret dies, or an enemy dies, they drop some scrap, 25 points of scrap, which you have to run around the map and collect to build up your scrap pool, which allows you to then place armor packs on the map. And armor packs cost 50 scrap. You can place as many as you want as long as you keep picking up scrap, and what they do is they just give teammates who pick them up plus 75 armor. It's a nice way to help beef up your teammates, especially useful on squishy characters, on supports and stuff, tracers even, just to give them that extra bit of tankiness which they're not supposed to have. It's good because I enjoy moving around the maps, and Torbjörn's gameplay promotes having to move around, and it fits in really well with the whole place the turret down, forget about it, and just go do your Torbjörn things. You can come back to that turret later on to repair it, or if it gets blown down, it doesn't really matter if your turret dies too much because you can build another one whenever you like. It's a supportive turret now. In previous versions of Overwatch, it couldn't really be classed as a supportive turret because it seemed like the turret could do so much more than what Torbjörn could do himself, and that's changed. On this map in particular, like, obviously turret placement is a big part of Torbjörn's gameplay. I'm really happy watching the gameplay in the background here with all of my turret placements in this map. I would love to have the time to like go back and say, okay, look at this turret position, that turret position, and this turret position on this map, and just go through them all, because there's an explanation and a reason for every single placement of the turret. One in particular that I was a big fan of in this gameplay, which I'd never pulled off before, was when I was over to the right side of the B checkpoint, which was just shortly before what you're watching here right now, and I placed the turret inside the room with the big health pack. The reason I did that was because there was two heroes on the enemy team over there, and I knew they were over there, so all I needed to do was pop out, get a bit of splash damage on them with my shotgun. No risk really for me of dying there. I've got a decent health pool, I can just peek out, splash them a little bit, and that'll just bait them straight into going for that big health pack, because if you take damage, then yeah, you're going to want to heal up, and it was a Pharah and a Tracer. There's no way a support's going to be over there to heal them up, so the Pharah walks in straight into my turret, point blank. She splash damages it twice. Turret at stage 2 has 300 life, so it can survive 2 direct hits from Pharah's rocket launcher. She even took some splash damage from herself at that point blank range and ended up dying to my turret in the big health pack room, so that was a nice little free kill there for me. Other turret placements as well. Just at the start, similar to Symmetra gameplay, I placed a very aggressive upfront turret just to build that very fast ultimate charge at the start of the game. I'm able to do this because I know that there's going to be a slight delay before the enemy team can push through onto the first checkpoint. Usually there is, just because they've got either a Reinhardt shield to break through, or they're looking to get at least one pick before they actually all rush to the checkpoint, which gives me plenty of time to build up my second turret once that initial aggressive turret gets blasted down. Apart from that, the one problem I was having in this gameplay here is the enemy Widowmaker. Widowmaker is very good against Torbjörn. Torbjörn has a pretty large headshot hitbox. He's not super fast moving, all he does is move at the default move speed. There's no special movement ability for him, so he is basically plodding around the map, building turrets and flanking and shooting people with shotguns and things. So snipers hurt him a lot, and snipers can also snipe down his turrets out of range. This resulted in me having to place my turret in less than ideal positions on the final point. I had to place it directly on the point just so it was hiding behind one of those little pillars so the sniper couldn't insta-kill it from down the corridor at the bridge. But it was decent enough, and it allowed me to, at the end of the game, build this one final turret up on the high ground. Obviously, constantly moving your turrets is a good thing to do, same way as you would constantly move position if you were a sniper or someone else trying to set up some crossfire on a point. So this final turret with Molten Core set up was pretty much a way to guarantee the win on this map, because I saved this position for last. They weren't pushing up left side, they weren't prepared for a turret up on the left side, if I'd built that earlier on, they would have been prepared, they would have been checking up there for turrets and things, but saved it till last, built it up there. Molten Cord, that's Torbjörn's ultimate ability. It increases his turret from stage 2 to stage 3, gives it a fire rocket ability, massively increases Torbjörn's health, massively increases the turret health, increases fire rate of both Torbjörn and the turret, and shut down their final push with it, and is GG. So yeah, you want to have that turret placement locked down for every single map. For me right now, Hanamura is the best one that I have all the turret placements I think locked down for it. But there's probably a lot more. I mean, this is a stage 1 video. I mean, months after release or something like that, when I played Torbjörn a lot more, when other people have played Torbjörn a lot more, there's probably some crazy turret placements you can do. Obviously, you can do the little trick with maze on your team and things like that to boost you up somewhere crazy, to place a random turret somewhere where no one would expect it at all. Definitely, opinion on Torbjörn's have changed very quickly. Can't wait for launch now. Obviously, the recent announcement there, closed beta, shutting down in 1 week. Sad times, but it's good times because it means launch is really not that far away. And open beta as well at the first week of May, so we're missing a little bit of Overwatch in the downtime, but I'm just happy that soon everyone is going to get to play the game, and soon we'll get to see what the final product of Overwatch is going to be looking like. So thanks very much for watching my Stage 1 Torbjörn video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on Torbjörn after watching this, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you. Bye bye.